Welcome back, everyone. Now, I just want to clarify something right here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy all of this and I'm going to paste it in here, okay? And I'm going to say this is JavaScript 2, okay? So we got call me and we'll just put a 2 at the end of this just so we know that everything is a little bit different here, okay? So if you go ahead and watch what happens when we put this, what ends up happening here is that since we've called myAwesome function, there's actually two myAwesome functions here, okay? And let's just say 2, okay? And if I go back and you can see here that the button calls this one instead. Now, what can end up happening here is that this, as you can see, there are two functions the same and you don't know which one to call. Now, this is a big problem with JavaScript, and other languages such as C# actually deal with this. And right now, if we were in C# or another language, it would actually pull up an error and say, wait a minute, there's actually two different kinds of functions here that have the same name. Okay, so they have the same name, and the compiler doesn't really know which one to call. In JavaScript, it just kind of does it. Okay, now this poses a bigger problem when you're debugging. When later on, when you actually go ahead and start making code, you can't go ahead and just call things the same, and this especially happens when you start copying and pasting. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that everything is not only categorized correctly, but categorized in a systematic way that you know what's going on. So you have to make everything neat. So if I put myAwesome function 2 and I go ahead and click this, you can see that I haven't changed this yet. I haven't changed myAwesome function in this onClick area, so it calls this one here. Okay. The second thing is if you put 2 there, guess what? The 2 is now there. Now, here's another issue. Can you technically put scripts, these script tags, in different areas? And the answer is yes, you can. As I just demonstrated right here, I can actually do that. Now, the problem is, should you do that? Well, if I go ahead and I cut this out and put this right here, is there going to be any difference? And the answer is no, because this is still within the script. So basically, should you go ahead and add in another script tag? Well, you know what, you can if you want. So for example, let's say you have your main script here and you can actually comment this out. You can say, this is my main script. Okay, and you can comment this out and say, this is my secondary script. Okay, and you can see everything's nicely color coded so you can actually see the difference. For example, if you want just like a one-liner in the script, maybe it's best to put it here instead of up here. That actually could work. Okay, so basically that is what you need to do and what you need to think about when you're not only copying and pasting, but when you're adding other script tags to the other parts of your HTML file. Okay, I'll see you guys.